because we'll get started in a minute. Hey, Mickey. Now, I might actually, I won't mute you guys. It's all good. I may ask a couple of questions as well, just so I can help like bounce off those and things like that. So we might get started. So as you would have seen today, that tonight's topic is all about self-love, understanding and changing our thought patterns, looking at our values, and how to live life in abundance and joy. So if you know me, you would know that I am extremely passionate about helping women be in alignment in all areas of their life. So that be physical, mental, and spiritual health. And also self-love is super important because I feel like it's not something that any of us have been taught in school. So it's something that I always want to be preaching, and all of us other wellness coaches, it is something that we really do focus on. And if you think about yourself, there's probably one area that you focus on. Like, you think, Rach, it could be physical health. A lot of people focus on maybe one area, but not so much the others, or they don't focus on any areas at all. And in that instance, you'll find yourself feeling lost, confused, incomplete, potentially anxious, depressed. That's where you are if you're not focusing on all areas. So that's why I would love to be able to help you guys focus on self-love, because I feel like it is something that no matter what your age, no matter where you come from or anything like that, it's really something that we can all take from this. So I would love to start chatting about our thoughts. And I'd love for you to even just type like a couple of sentences just in the comment section for me of like a negative thought or something that pops up in your mind, something quite regular. It could be something like not good enough, not worthy enough. I'd love to know what goes on in your mind. So I'll wait for some of those answers. Through.
I don't know where I have to type. It's Tracy.
That's all right, Tracy. You can even just tell me, lovely. So what are some of the common negative thoughts that pop up in your mind?
About the way I look.
The way you look, okay.
Yeah.
And like more specifically, like what do you say to yourself?
I can't wear that. I don't look good in that.
And where?
I'm not healthy.
Pardon?
Just I'm not healthy, or, as healthy as I'd like to be.
Okay. And where have those thoughts been around for as long as you can remember, or when did they start?
Probably, I don't know, about 8 or 9 years ago. I put on a lot of weight. I've kept it on, and I've only just recently started trying to get it off.
Yeah.
And I've lost 10 kilos.
You've lost 10 kilos?
Yeah, in the last 11 weeks. So that's really good. So it's just negative thoughts are still there, obviously. And yeah, I don't know. I've just always looked after my 2 girls and never put me first.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what has changed over the last 11 weeks? Have you done things to improve your health? What have you done?
I've changed my whole eating, everything that I ate that I shouldn't have been eating, I haven't eaten, and I've just been doing a bit of exercise where before I was just doing nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, it feels good.
That's awesome. And so those thoughts, they'll appear every day. Is it when you look in the mirror?
Yeah.
And is it something that affects like your whole day? Like how do you get yourself out of that, or do you just live with that feeling?
Yeah, I just live with that. Yeah.
And what's that like?
it's not very nice.
Yeah.
But it's not just my weight either. It's a lot of different things, you know. I think I could have done things. I think I could have done things better with my girls and things like that. You know, I just have a lot of self-doubt.
Self-doubt. Yeah, I feel you with that. That pops up in my mind too. Thank you so much for that, Trace. And Rach, I can see your comments there. Michaela, if you've just jumped on, hun, just want to pop a comment in the chat section of just some negative thoughts that pop up in your mind.
Okay.
So Rach, you've got like, I'm fat, your looks, appearance, you're gonna fail. Yeah, it's a huge fail. Okay. All right. So
appearance-wise is definitely a big thing. Very critical of the way I look, and like I exercise, but I feel like I'm never good enough. Like I'm never where I want to be.
Where do you think that stems from?
Honestly, I think a lot of it stems from like social media and
there we go.
We all look up to these perfect people who are posting about how perfect their life is and how perfect they are, when really behind the camera they're not. They're just like me. But you know, I think that's where a lot of it would come from.
Yeah, and you know what? We're actually going to chat about that because there is no such thing as perfect. No such thing. Okay, Mickey, yeah, you're not smart enough, you're ugly, still fat and overweight. Yep, that's fine. You can't handle life, you're weak. Okay, yeah, there's some pretty powerful thoughts there. And I know that we've spoken about that, and I totally feel you, girl. And this is why I want to talk about this, because we all have that inner mean girl inside of our heads. We all do. I think I can hear Bear.
Sorry.
That's all right. So the cool thing is, though, I just want to let you guys know, and I just want to try and give you back some sort of control back in your life, because I want to let you know that we are actually in control of our thoughts, what we think and how we react. We actually have a lot more control than what we think. And science actually shows, what's proven, that we can control every thought within 10 seconds. So, but it's about the consistent training of our minds to train ourselves and have like a positive affirmation to change our thoughts, which we're going to chat about. But you can have a completely different decision and reaction and thought in a matter of seconds. So I want to keep things simple tonight, and I don't want to overwhelm you, but I want to let you know how easy this can be. It just does take consistent work. Now, another thing that I've noticed working with people is that we've become a culture where we blame everyone for everything. So, you know, we could blame our kids. We could blame our parents. We live in this world where we play the victim. Anyone here can relate? Yeah, playing the victim. I've definitely been there. And if you don't have your hands up, or you're behind the screen, you don't have your hand up, then you're probably playing the victim, or have at some point in your life. But my real question to you is, who is ready to take back control of their life and to take responsibility for their life and their happiness? Like, who wants to do that? Who feels good about taking control back? I know I do. Now, when I did a lot of research on this and I found out how easy it was, when I found out some little tools and tricks on what I can use, like, I can't explain how much better my life is. And I do want to start off by saying that the only difference between you and I right now is that I am very committed to investing in myself every day. And you can too. All of you beautiful girls that have jumped on, you've either jumped on because I've convinced you to, or someone else has, or you really do want to make a change in your life. And you'll probably hear me reference a little bit that I am so far from perfect. I don't know, in social media I try and say really, really real, but I want to let you know that none of us are perfect. And I think we all need to stop striving for perfection, because we'll be spending our whole lives striving and also feeling very disappointed, right? So I just want to let you know there is no such thing as perfect. And I would recommend striving for like peace, joy, love, and whatever that works for you. But there is no such thing as perfect. So tonight I'm going to give you a few tools and tricks that I feel if you implement into your life are going to help you massively. So I do want to touch on some thoughts. And what are thoughts? Like, obviously there are things that are in our mind. They are like our experiences and what we choose to take in, what we choose to log and give attention to. So like Rach mentioned earlier as well, like social media. So Trace, if you have a think about what your thoughts are made up of, or Rach or Mickey or Talia or whoever it is, what are your thoughts made up of? Like when you wake up in the morning, what do you do? Do you grab your phone? Do you scroll through social media? Do you look at that girl on social media and compare yourself? Judge yourself? Judge your relationship, your life? How does everyone feel with that? Like, are you feeling me here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or do you choose to get up, just go, no, I'm not going to touch my phone today for the first half an hour of the day. I'm going to spend some time with myself. I'm going to get in touch with myself. I'm going to allow the positive thoughts to come in and start me off the way that I should start my day. I'm just going to mute Nikki for a sec because I know how Nikki. I'm just going to mute for a sec just because you're a little cute dog. You can jump back on. He's always loud on the videos. But I also want to reassure you all that from before we were born and when we were born, that we were all wired for love. But over time, through social media and our experiences is where we have learnt the fear and all these other negative thoughts that have come in from our external circumstances. But the cool thing is that we have a choice of what we allow in and what we take in and how we react, like I mentioned earlier. And I'm talking to myself here too. Trust me, I totally have my days. And like I said to you guys before, that the only difference is that I am committed to investing in myself. And it doesn't take very long. Like people will say that I don't have time to work on myself, or I've got kids and I've got that. And if I can show you a way to have like 7 minutes of the day to spend on yourself, I can't tell you how much of a difference that it will make. So I'm going to go through some of the tips shortly to help you start you up for a great morning and a great life. Not a perfect one, but a great one.
Sounds good.
I want to start off by chatting about values, which is super important. And if you're not living your life in alignment with your values, again, like I mentioned in the beginning, for those that have just recently jumped on, you're going to be feeling lost, confused, depressed, anxious, and you'll make silly decisions that will actually deter you from where you want to be. So I'd love to help you guys determine what your values are so that we can help when those negative thoughts come in, be able to replace them with a positive thought. So I'm not sure, does anyone here, like, no, hey Danielle, Danielle, if you want to pop in the comments, lovely, just some negative thoughts. If you're having a look at what everyone said, those horrible words that pop into our mind, I'm sure you can relate. I certainly can. Just of some negative thoughts that may pop into your head. I'm sure you'll be able to relate, hun, maybe even to body image, being a competitor and things like that. Just pop in the comment section. You can't do it. Okay. Yeah. Totally feel you. So I want to find out what our values are. So values are what's important to us, what's really important to us, and what we live our life by. So, for example, my top 3 values are God or faith, health, and self-love. And family is just a given for me. So by me knowing just those 3 top values, it allows me to live in accordance with them. And when a negative thought comes in and tells me that I'm ugly or I'm not good enough or I'm not worthy, I'm actually very easily able to replace those negative thoughts with a positive one. And I'll show you how shortly. But this actually allows me to make better decisions and get me closer to where I want to be. I still have my down days. I want to be completely honest with you. I'm a human being. We're all human. But I really want to help you guys have a better, full, abundant life where we're not just going through life existing, human beings existing, because there's so much more to life that is available to you. So if you know what your values are, again, I'd love you to pop them in the comment section. So what's most important to you? Like, what do you live your life by? I'll bring up some examples of some values. I'll actually share my screen with you. But if you know what your values are, let's keep this a little bit interactive and let's pop them in the section. Danielle, let me see. There's a girl on Instagram. Yeah, okay. Find my game, start to play. Yeah, Danielle, I totally feel you, girlfriend. I'm not sure if you heard the beginning of my call about social media and what we do. But I was chatting about, starting and maybe not waking up and checking social media. But yeah, that's cool. If you missed it, you can watch the recording once it's finished. Rach, do you know what your values are?
Yep, I'll just say them rather than type them. So I never really thought about my values until I started Baby Business. So I thought about it, and health is definitely a big thing for me. Mainly it began with physical, but I always care about my mind's health as well. That is probably my biggest one is health. Also happiness. That's something that's super important to me. If I'm not doing something that makes me happy, I don't see the point in doing it. So they're two values that are quite high on my list.
Yeah, awesome. So girls, for those that haven't shared yet, even if it is just in your mind, I'd really love for you to just have a think, because this is all to help you long term. It's all really well and good to listen to this webinar tonight or this talk. But if we can all just think about our lives, there is instances where we're consistent in some areas and we're inconsistent in some areas. And that's the same for me. And like, for example, if I think about gym, I'm really consistent. Personal development, I'm really consistent. Working on myself, I'm actually really consistent now, because I know if I'm not, I am screwed. So like I said, it's really all well and good to listen to this and to take it in. And I really hope that you take something from this. But I do encourage you to make yourself a top priority and be really consistent in your, like, looking after yourself. And I'm going to tell you some really simple ways shortly. I know it can be a little bit overwhelming, especially if you're not used to, like Trace was saying, you know, she's a mum as well, and has probably done everything for her girls and lost herself a little bit. We hear mums talk about that. But you're not just a mum, like, you are a superwoman, and you totally deserve to feel good about yourself and to love who you are. And we all deserve to feel like that. And it doesn't matter what generation you come from. Even if I think about my mum, who's obviously, like, she's almost 50 now, but their generation, like, even their parents didn't, like, tell them that they were beautiful and teach them self-love. I do hope that we do that nowadays, but I look at that generation and that people are going through life not liking who they are and loving who they are, and it honestly breaks my heart. That's why I do this, because we are all so incredible. Like, we're all unique, and that's what makes us amazing. So following on from that, once you're aware of your values, the next most important thing, so the second most important thing is like self-awareness and self-regulation. So being aware of your thoughts that are coming in so that you're then able to replace them with the positive ones. So Trace, it was so cool before that you would totally be able to tell me, this is what goes on in my mind. During that moment is when I want you to kind of check yourself when it's actually happening. And then when you know your values, and then I tell you the next step, you're going to be able to just knock those fucking thoughts on their head, because they don't need to be there. And like I said, it's a choice, and we can choose the thoughts that we want in our mind. Like, it's up to us. So
Sounds amazing.
So the next thing, so we know our values, we're going to know our values, being self-aware of when there's that inner mean girl, that fucking sometimes I swear when I get a bit passionate, when there's horrible. So it's being aware when those thoughts come in, we know our values. The next thing is having, like, this may sound a bit like kooky and weird, but I wouldn't say it if it didn't work. And it does, and it's really simple. So the next most important thing is having a powerful I am statement. So it's just like, you've probably heard people talk about affirmations. It can sound really weird if you're not, like, spiritual or anything. You don't have to be spiritual. But like, for example, like if a negative thought comes into my head, I know what my values are, right? Like I know that God, self-love, health. So when it comes in, I just say to myself, like, I'm a child of God. I respect my body and I was created beautifully and uniquely just the way that I am. And when I say that, like, I don't know how that makes you feel because that's my like powerful I am statement, but it literally makes me feel so much better. Does anyone have something that they do say to themselves, like a positive affirmation yet? Does anybody say that to themselves yet? I'd love to know. Or are they just going through life with those negative thoughts and that's it and feeling all the time? Tell me.
I have actually recently started with this because a big thing for me is physical, the way I look. And like, obviously I feel like with gym, like I'm not good enough, I'm not where I want to be. And I've recently started to just accept where I am at every stage.
You're breaking up, Rachel, sorry.
Sorry, I'm walking around. Yeah, I've recently started to like accept myself at every stage, and something I tell myself is you can be a work in progress and a masterpiece at the same time. And I tell myself that every day when I'm like feeling a little bit down. I'm like, you're gonna get there eventually. Nothing wrong with where you are now, and you're working towards something, and that's amazing.
Love it. And question, did you say that to yourself today?
I did.
You did?
Yes, I did when I was at the gym about half an hour ago. I was like, oh, I've lost so much because I had a week off training. So I was like, oh my God, I've lost so much strength. And then I was like, seriously, what are you doing?
Okay, cool. So you checked yourself, you were aware of what was going on and you replaced it with a positive thought. Cool. Trace, is there anything positive that you have been saying to yourself at all? Or you've just been going through life with the negative ones?
Cool.
Are you there, Trace?
Oh, I didn't realise that you said my name then. Sorry.
That's okay.
I don't have a lot of positive things that I say to myself, but it's not that I probably can't do it. It's just I've never thought of doing it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm so
I just let
sorry. What was that end part? Well, I firstly want to say thank you so much for being honest and telling me that. That's the first step for you. And like I said in the beginning, are you ready to take back control of your life? Take responsibility for your life and your happiness. Can everyone hear me okay? Can everyone hear me all right?
You're just breaking up a bit, babe. Your internet's just catching up.
All right. Are we good now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Awesome. Yeah. This freaking internet, man, technology. Well, Trace, if you didn't hear that, I just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing that. And I wanted to ask if you are ready to take back control of your life and to take responsibility.
Definitely. I'm ready. Yeah.
You ready? I love that.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I would love even tomorrow, like if you want to post in the comment section of this post, let us know what your top 3 values were. And even your I am statement, or you can private message me or Mickey, because this is where consistency comes into it. You know, it's, again, all well and good to say things, which I have done many times, but I really want to be able to help you do this from here onwards and moving forward. I don't want it to be just another day where you hear another webinar and you hear some girl talk about stuff. I really want this for you. And another
Thank you.
that's okay. So I'd love, like, if you can make a commitment to, you know, sometimes you do need a bit of an accountability buddy in the beginning when trying something new. So if we can get that commitment, if you share it with myself or Mickey or even the group tomorrow, let us know what you took from this. And then even that, like that self-awareness and that values and the I am statement, how that goes for you over the next week. Because one thing I want to say is you would have all heard that it does take 21 days to create a new habit. And who here, you know, says they want to do something, they try something, it gets to the 4th day and they stop. We've all done it. We've all done it. And do you know the weird, like the crazy thing is, as humans, we're adaptable. like if we commit, like, and we do go the 21 days, we will adapt to these new changes. If we just adapt to being like mediocre and adapting to our mediocre life where we're feeling average, we're going to adapt to that. So it's up to us. It's our choice. So 21 days, you know, it's not long in the scheme of things of our life. But another thing, like, do you know it actually takes 63 days to physically get that toxic like statement and thought out of your brain and to reprogram your mind? It takes 63 days to physically remove the things that you have been telling yourself for years and years and years. To reprogram your mind and thoughts, it takes 63 days. Who here like wants to get their calendar out and like, I want to tick off like day 1, day 2, day 3. I'm like, I actually want to start doing that to see what happens for me and my life, because 63 days out of my life is nothing. If you girls want to do that with me, let me know. Like, I'm totally down to improve and to love myself more. Now we're coming to the end now. I think Zoom's going to cut us off very shortly, but one really important thing, in alignment with Are You Okay Day. I didn't know that was today, but how cool.
Yes.
But I wanted to ask you, how many of you would you speak up if you were going through something tough? Would you tell someone or would you keep it to yourself?
I tend to keep things to myself.
Okay.
I'm a speaker.
I'm a talker. Yeah, I've got to talk. Otherwise I'll break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Grace and Danielle, for the girls that do keep them to themselves, I'm going to encourage you to talk to somebody that you trust. You know, if it is me, if it is Mickey, if it's one of the other wellness coaches or the community within the Self-Love Project, I really want to encourage you to speak up, because do you know what? When you speak up, it's actually a massive celebration for you, because when you talk to someone, you actually weaken that toxic thought that's in your mind. You know, those negative things that you're saying to yourself, Trace, all those feelings of judgment, Danielle. When you tell someone, you're going to weaken that thought, and then it's going to be a lot easier for you to change that thought. So I'd love for you to think about that when you're keeping things to yourself, how much better it's going to help you by just telling somebody that you trust. Danielle, I would never judge you, hun. Like, I know you're saying that you feel that you would be judged. I would never judge you. And I'm sure there is many people around you that wouldn't judge you. So find that person that you trust so that we can start changing those thought patterns, and you can start feeling better about yourself when that people are not judging you. And if they are, they're not people that you want in your life. So the last thing that I wanted to touch on, we've got about 5 more minutes, is for those busy mamas, I know we've got some mamas on the call, I would love for you to have a think, maybe even not even a think, but to commit a little bit of time to yourself each day. It could be 7 minutes. If you committed 7 minutes to yourself to be still, to not have your phone, and to just be there, feeling like listening to your breath, feeling your body, thinking about who you want to be who you want to be today. Who can you help? What can you do to make a positive impact in someone's life? What can you do for yourself to make yourself feel good? 7 minutes. I've been doing 20 minutes. And, you know, in the beginning, especially like Michaela and Rachel will understand, like people that suffer with a bit of anxiety, sometimes it's actually hard, like, to be there in total silence. So I've been listening to some really nice soothing music for 20 minutes. It goes really fast. But what that is it's literally like housekeeping in your brain. So if you can commit to start off, if you're busy, just 7 minutes, whether it's in the morning or the night, whatever suits you. In the morning suits me. I love in the morning. But 7 minutes. Like, does everyone think that they can give themselves 7 minutes? I personally don't think that's hard. Go for 20 if you can. But to just be by yourself still, get in touch with who you are, the beautiful women that you all are. I really encourage you to do that and to let me know how you go, because I've been doing it and it makes such a freaking difference. Danielle, I can see you. Let's see what gym time is my time. Then you've started doing the Headspace app. Amazing, beautiful. See if you can fit in, like this morning, example. I had a really busy day on today. I got up at 3:30 in the morning. Yeah, that's freaking crazy. But you know what? I needed that time for myself, and I've had a fucking awesome day. So I just encourage you to make the time however you can, 7 minutes, it's not long. On that note, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to, I hope that helped. Like, I wanted to encourage you all to realize the beautiful, incredible, unique women that you are, and to be consistent in your self-love practice, and to understand that you are your greatest investment. And I know, you know, we're all putting people before us, but we can't pour from an empty cup. You need to look after yourself first. Now, I'm going to actually send you through, in the latest post that I put up, I'm going to send you through just a few little tools that you can take with you, like maybe some audio books or some books and some movies that will really help, that have helped me and that I love. I'm going to pop them in the comment section. So if you girls want to pop over to my latest post and copy and keep them, and even start listening to the book or reading the books, let me know how you go. They're just some resources to help you, because like I said, this takes consistent work. I work on myself every single day, and if I don't, I'd be a basket case and probably in a mental institution. So it's just something that we have to do, okay? So I'm just being totally honest. It's so important. I really hope that you took something from tonight. I love talking about this stuff, and I appreciate you girls jumping on so much, and I look forward to chatting with you all soon.
Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure, beautiful ladies. I think this is going to cut us off in a couple of minutes. Go enjoy the rest of your night. Tomorrow is a new day. Commit to yourself and start taking responsibility for your life. I can't wait to hear how you go.
Remember, you're all bosses.
Yeah, girls.
Yeah.
All boss babes.
Yes. Much love to you, beautiful girls. Thank you so much for jumping on.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.